Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching my videos. My name is DaVinci Jeremy. I'm living here in Dubai. I'm in my new place on the Palm. I'm loving it. Thank you very much for tuning in to this channel and watching it. I'm going to have an exciting show today. We're going to be talking about Bitcoin. Is it in its final cycle? Is there going to be more cycles, or is this it? Is this cycle going to end all cycles? We're going to talk about that and more in today's episode. Also, CBDCs from central bankers. Yes, they'll always be around, lurking in the background. But yeah, they're not the real cryptocurrencies. It's really Bitcoin, right? Not the crap that they try to peddle to us. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about those things and more. So if you're interested in that and you really like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the bell button, and all. And also, if you don't mind sharing this video with your friends, family members, hitting maybe tweeting this out, or even putting on Instagram or wherever you like, whatever platform you like, whether it's Bitcoin Talk or even Reddit. I would really appreciate it. Thank you for sharing this. Okay, let's head over to first things first. We always talk about the crypto bubbles. Yes. Things have been calming down lately. A lot of the alts have been dropping off this map here. Some of them because prices have reversed, and some of them because it's been more than a month that we saw a lot of green up here. So now they're not moving in a great direction compared to the percentage that they were a month ago. So. Yeah, that's okay, because you can see that. Why do we believe that that's the case? Well, if you look at the dominance, you can see that is what's going on. Let's talk about my Twitter. Basically, I got verified. I know if you're watching every day, you probably already know this. But for those who are not watching, I'm fully verified now. So make sure you look for the blue check mark. If somebody pretends to be me and I don't got the blue check mark, that's not me. I'm not trying to peddle you anything. That's a scammer, and especially if they have scammer beside their name, scam. You know it's a scam, especially if you're in Telegram. Most of the Telegram scammers have scam beside their name. So make sure you ignore those people that have the scam beside their name. Alrighty, and if I don't have the blue check mark, and I'm coming from Instagram or Twitter, and I'm messaging you, and I don't have that blue check mark, that ain't me. So just so you know. Okay. If you're not part of the DaVinciJ15.com, make sure that you are, because take a look. Posted this trade in the group, and then you can see a nice little gain. So make sure that you are a part of our group so that you can gain profits on some of the trades that Lee and I are doing. So, and also you have access to me, right, and a whole bunch of other cool things like my portfolio of alts, right? You get to see my portfolio of alts and some other cool things such as my trading tools. Okay, it's only a small price to pay, right? Especially since Bitcoin's so low. So make sure that you get in on some subscriptions whilst the prices are low with Bitcoin so low. Okay. Let's get on to the first news of today. It is G7 nations set to release guidelines for CBDC insurance. Basically, the banksters want to make sure that when you create a CBDC, you follow their rules, right? Of making sure that it's a debt-based currency, right? Not backed up by gold or anything like that, because then you can't participate in the banking system. You follow all these rules, and then you can be a CBDC. So that's what that's all about. They know that China could go on its own and not follow their rules. So this is why they want to do a conglomerate to make sure that, and then come up with a set of key things that a CBDC must follow so that that everybody programs, that every country that programs their own, they can follow the same set of rules to rob their citizens and everyone else that they can that holds those currencies. Because it's a big scam, of course, central banking. And if you don't know that, well, ever wonder why you seem to get poorer and poorer, and other people seem to get poorer and poorer? Well, it's because of central banking, because they print money for their friends and not for you. Switzerland's largest online bank plans to launch cryptocurrency exchange. Okay, so an online bank, right, wants to create another cryptocurrency exchange. Little late to the party. I remember when you were saying it was a scam, it's a fad, it was gonna go away, and you didn't want to provide abilities for people to buy this stuff because it was a fraud. Well, now you're here. Interesting. I guess it's not a fraud, right? Oh, damn, man. It's how the tides would turn, right? Where banksters would be like, no, you don't want that. Why would you want that scam? It's horrible. And now it's like, oh, you want some? We got you. Come on. Oh, don't worry. We got it stored right here. What's that? Can you see it? Can I show you keys? No. That's not breach security. Well, you don't trust that we'd have the bitcoins? That's just nonsense. We'd have the bitcoins. Yeah. We got sued for silver. We wouldn't do that again, right? What was that? It says industry standard practice. Well, okay, yeah, for silver and gold. Oh, damn. Yeah, they're not gonna have your cryptocurrencies, right? It'll just be, they'll just take your money and say, yeah, we got it right here, and that's it. Now, you're thinking, well, how can they do that and not go bankrupt if the price goes higher? Because you're betting against the price going higher, they're betting it going lower, and they're helping it go lower by not buying the underlying asset. So it's a win for them, and then other banks are doing the same thing, so it's a win for all of them. So yeah, just keep that in mind. BitMex, man, it's the troubled for the first actual major leverage exchange that did very well at first, but now they're issuing their own token. Good luck to them, BitMex. Their trading platform is not the greatest; it's very complicated, but hey, I'm sure their token will do extremely well. So if you're interested in getting some, I suggest you go get that airdrop, man. Especially if you don't have any money, right? A lot of people don't have any money, so maybe you should head over there to BitMex and see if you can participate in their airdrop if it does allow you to do it with little or no money. Bitcoin security, trustless private messaging with public key and private key cryptography. Okay, one of the things this article talks about is that how can we could in the future use your Bitcoin address to basically send messages that are secured and private? Yes, you can. You can do exactly that. Not through the Bitcoin network probably, but somebody create a third-party network allowing you to send messages back and forth that are secured and no one can break through and see what your messages are. That's a key feature for private transaction and private interactions, and I think that's definitely useful in the future. So we're going to see somebody, especially if Bitcoin is fully adopted, we're going to see this kind of feature coming into applications when Bitcoin is fully adopted. So I'm looking forward to that. It would be interesting, right, if you create a wallet that allows for private messaging in the wallet as one of the features, and sending invoices to somebody in the wallet itself to pay. That's a cool feature, and I think that should be something looked into, and maybe I might look into it. Now that I'm thinking about it. Bitcoin price doesn't matter. Adoption does. Yes, that's true. But adoption comes with higher prices and doesn't come with lower prices. Why is that? That's because Bitcoin, it attracts people with high rising prices. Nobody's interested in Bitcoin going down, right? It's just the way it is for human nature. When price is basically a signal mechanism for individuals to say something's wrong or something's right. They don't go and look into the details of what's going on. Only when it concerns them or affects them do they go into detail. So for example, when prices are going higher and they're like, okay, everybody's telling me to buy this thing and I'm missing out. I need to find out what's going on here. Yeah, that's when they really get the education. They understand why they need to adopt Bitcoin, why they need to drop central banking, why they need to hold this asset because it's so limited and it's the only limited asset in the whole entire world. That brings in the people. And yes, you could say that price doesn't matter all you want, but it does matter. It does matter to get the adoption. All right, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust hits the largest discount ever. Okay, because Grayscale buys up a lot of Bitcoin and they don't open it up to sell or buy all of the Bitcoin on a consistent basis, right? So basically, they buy and they hold, and then if the people who are interested in buying the trust, they could end up buying at a premium, then because there's more shares out than, or they'd have to buy the shares that are not available to sell at a higher price. So let's just say let's just say that they bought 100 Bitcoins and they sold 100 shares. Well, if you wanted to get a Grayscale share, well, and you didn't want a Bitcoin share, actual Bitcoin, you're going to have to entice the person who owns that share to buying. So this is why Grayscale Trust would go higher in the premiums, because you'd have to get somebody and say, hey, you sell it to me for 20% above the actual spot price, I'll buy it, and yeah, somebody will eventually sell it to you, right? And so the reverse happens, right? Of course, if price action drops and there's still 100 shares and people are like, okay, I want to out, and if you're one of those 100 that owns a share, you're going to have to sell this at a discounted price than the actual underlying value of the share, because nobody's interested in buying the Grayscale Trust. And that's what's happening here. Grayscale has more sellers of the shares than the actual value of their underlying asset. So basically, you're getting a 21% discount on your Bitcoin if you purchase the Grayscale Trust. So run, don't walk, buy some shares right there, and get a 21% discount on your Bitcoin. And then, hey, when it goes up above 20%, you will get a 40% increase in your wealth, because that happens a lot with Grayscale, where we'll get more than a 20% in increase in its value. So I've seen it high as 35% with Grayscale. So yeah, that's a huge arbitrage. You're just gonna have to wait for it, of course, and I suggest you go and purchase it if you're interested in that kind of thing. You will have to wait. You will have to be patient, but man, it will reward you heavily in the end. So, is this the final bull run for the Bitcoin cycle? Is this it? Have we ended? Is this bull run the Bitcoin's final cycle? I would say yes, it could be, because Bitcoin has only the big money left to come in and move Bitcoin higher. They are going to move the Bitcoin as high as they possibly as like probably to, like, I don't know, probably $1 million or so, and then they're going to try to pawn it off to every average person. But they're going to probably have to move it up a little bit slower than that. So yeah, I think this time they're going to hold the price and move it slowly up so that no one really gets jumping into it heavily. All their retail sector doesn't come in heavily, and they can actually come on and buy, and they get a little bit of the retail cycle and dump on them, and they get a little bit more and then dump on them, so they can get those Bitcoins from the retail sector until finally, when it gets high enough, they will start pumping it to them. Because there will be that one day that Bitcoin just goes absolute bananas, no matter what. You could say, well, no, it could go slowly up all the way up. No, because when the masses rush in, it always is the same. We're going to see Bitcoin just go crazy. Or actually, we might even see Bitcoin get repriced, right? Because a collapse in the US dollar, right? A sudden collapse in the US dollar causes it to go, okay, listen, we want because they're trying to get asset inflation, right? And so they, just like they did in the 1933 when they ended the gold window, closed the gold window for Americans. This is repriced gold, so they're going to probably reprice all assets across the board, so they're making it easier for them to default on their debt rapidly instead of slowly. So I'm looking for that default, and then once that happens, right, a lot of people who have Bitcoins probably on exchanges will get wiped out. So I'm sure they'll take those because the U.S. government has no money, so they need that. And so neither does any other government. So they need your money. So don't leave your Bitcoins and your cryptocurrencies on exchanges. That's probably a recipe for disaster. Don't worry, they'll pay you, of course. Don't worry, you'll get paid, but not at the price that they're going to reprice it at. They're going to pay you a lower price, and then reevaluate the price of Bitcoin to a higher, to something insane. So be prepared for that. That's coming. That is coming in the final cycle of Bitcoin, right? Make sure that you don't get left out in the cold. Make sure you store your Bitcoin safe into a hardware wallet, and don't try to stake, earn interest, or whatever. That's going to be the death of you. All right, with that said, remember, right? The reason why I'm saying all this is because Bitcoin's real. Bitcoin's here to stay, and you need to be a part of it. Cheers.